Following the events of the Chinese Grand Prix, many were left questioning if Max Verstappen is in fact ready for full-time drive in Formula 1. However, Christian Horner defended his young driver, saying that many of the incidents like this happened last season, mainly at Spa, and no one questioned the driver's performances there or ability to drive a race car, so why should there be any difference now for Max Verstappen? Williams brought the downforce upgrades that saw Buoni take the win last race. For Button here at Bahrain, and Button is reaping the rewards of the extra downforce, setting consistently faster lap times than his teammate Sebastian Buemi, and looks to challenge the Ferraris for the top spot. After the crash with Verstappen last race, Lewis Hamilton classed that as only a minor setback, as he looks to take the win here and get his championship back on track. Taking a look then at the qualifying grid for the Bahrain Grand Prix, it'd be Jenson Button taking pole position for Williams, with Nico Rosberg, the defending world champion, in second, 2 tenths behind. Valtteri Bottas and the other Mercedes will line up third, and Sebastian Buemi in the second Williams starts from fourth. It would be an all Ferrari third row, Sebastian Vettel just getting the better of his teammate Lewis Hamilton to take fifth. Jean-Eric Vergne is the lead Red Bull in 7th, Sergio Perez once again qualifying in 8th. Once again, Grosjean gets the better of his teammate to line up in 9th, with Max Verstappen completing the top 10, with Josh Chiro in the second Lotus in 11th, and Daniel Kvyat in the second Toro Rosso in 12th. Daniel Ricciardo languishes all the way down in 13th, at a very disappointing qualifying session for him, and same percent for Nico Hülkenberg lining up 15th, and it'll be an all Sauber row 8 with Sutil and Ericsson. And it'll also be an all McLaren row 9 of Massa and Alonso, and a Manor row 10. Taking a quick look at the race strategy, another one stop as usual, stopping on lap 6 or 7 for a set of the prime tyres.
It's a pretty long run going into turn 1, so try and get the inside line for it.
That's out and away we go. We should get a pretty decent start compared to Max Verstappen in front. But now you try and get to the inside, but don't feel it's getting very close for our rear wheel there, now stuck to the left hand side. Now we've got Verstappen trying to make a move up the inside of Grosjean, and now we've got Kvyat looking to make a move up the inside of us as well. We just about get the traction around the outside of Kvyat and take back 11th position. It looks like Verstappen and Grosjean going side by side up ahead, now gaining in the slipstream. They actually brake really early, they make a big contact there with the back of Verstappen, braking so early for that corner. Thankfully none of us have any damage from that, and now Grosjean and Verstappen go side by side. Grosjean gets forced out by Verstappen, and Grosjean moves up into 10th position. And we drive all the way around the outside of Max Verstappen now, move up into 10th position, with Grosjean in front in 9th position. And let's try and get past Grosjean as quickly as possible, and try and get somewhere close to the top 4 teams. Now coming through this double left-hander, really difficult corner to get right there. So if you miss a braking point by any margin, you would go skating off or locking both your front tyres, which you don't want to do either of them, if really. Now, losing a bit on the straight there, goes to the traction. Still lacking on this Lotus, but now gaining through the S section. We've been really quick through here all weekend long in practice sessions as well, compared to the cars around us, so Grosjean, Toro Rossos, Force Indias, all the other midfield cars. Now getting a great run on a teammate now. In this section you're going to pull out the slipstream, are we? Now we pull to the right hand side now, coming up to the final corner. Outbrake Grosjean. Grosjean doesn't really put much of a fight there. Runs out a bit wide, and now we move up into 9th position. Now we can try and chase down Sergio Perez as Lewis Hamilton sets the first lap of the Grand Prix. And actually Jenson Button sets the first lap of the Grand Prix, not Hamilton. Now gaining down straight. A mighty battle behind between Verstappen, Grosjean. Now Hülkenberg moves up into 10th position. They must be going 3 wide back there. Now Hülkenberg back into 10th position. Now Verstappen is back into 10th. Now Hülkenberg back into 10th. Now Grosjean is finally back into 10th. There's only a titanic battle behind there, those 3. But now trying to gain on Sergio Perez to take his 8th position. Sergio Perez really doesn't seem to like 8th position so far in these races. Now coming further on to the end of lap 2, start of lap 3, we're now caught up to Sergio Perez, and now I'm trying to overtake. Sergio Perez playing side by side down to turn 1, trying to outbrake the Mexican driver. Perez runs out wide and doesn't put in much of a fight, and now we move up into 8th position. Now we can try and chase down Jean-Eric Vergne in the Red Bull. Of course, with that Renault Howie in it, it's going to be very fast in a straight line.
if I don't avoid that, he's just going straight to my car. Honestly, what are we doing? Racing or ping pong?
As you saw there, Lewis Hamilton making it 3 wide with his teammate Vettel and one of the Williams was, I think, Sebastian Buemi. Now Buemi and Vettel going side by side. Vettel runs out wide, and we're going to dive it up the inside of both of them. Try and make up 2 positions in one. We managed to get Vettel, but Buemi just gets us on the traction. Now, but look at Buemi weaving all over track, trying to break the slipstream. Now we've got the momentum coming into the S section. Now we're going to dive up the inside of Buemi. Now Vettel's going to follow us through as well. So in basically 3 corners, we've gained 2 positions. Buemi's lost 3. Vettel's also lost 2 positions as well. Hamilton there with a very risky move to try and make his way up into what is currently now 5th position. Because Vern's still in front as well. See there, Vettel really not happy with what his teammate did to try and make that move. But the gap was there, Vettel left the room, so I think that was a pretty fair move in my opinion. Now we should try and chase down John Verne in the Red Bull. As now, one Mercedes coming to the pits, so that's Rosberg, I think, coming into the pits. For very early pits, and that's actually both of the Mercedes have pit on the same lap. What are they doing? So Rosberg goes first, he gets first call, and Bottas has had to start behind, I think that was. So Mercedes again, really throwing away in stretches. Really, despite their downforce heavy design for their car for this season, they still can't make the tyres last. That's something they definitely need to work on. It's only to prove that for the rest of the season and actually take a win in this season. First of all, they need to improve their tyre wear. So now coming midway through, now on lap 4, we're getting right into the back now of John Verne. And now we've got Buemi behind us, so Vettel must have dropped back or coming for a pit stop as well. Of course, now if we can get past Verne, then his teammate, Daniel Ricciardo, isn't that much further up the road either in the other Red Bull. We run a bit wide there in the dirty air, just trying to affect slightly on the front end. Now put into Richmond to try and counteract the lack of traction we get out of this low corner as much as possible. Gaining in the DRS, and think about making a move into this corner. Anything better, but just a bit too far back to try and make a dive up the inside there. I think now to try and wait for DRS down the main straight, that's probably going to be the easiest place to make our overtake. And just hope that Verne doesn't go into the pits and cut across the right of us. We'll continue to try and get a good run down here like we did on Grosjean back at the start of the Grand Prix. And now getting a great one in the slipstream, making an identical move that we did to Grosjean to move up into 4th position. It's actually Lewis Hamilton in front of us and not Daniel Ricciardo. Of course Ricciardo started way back. Now move up into 4th position. Now it's actually Lewis Hamilton comes into the pits along with the other 2 leaders as well, so now we move into the lead of the Grand Prix for the time being, with John Verne in 2nd and Hulkenberg currently in 3rd. So now what we need to try and do now is pull away from John Verne.
What's this lap?
And you're just confirming that we're going to be pitting at the end of lap 6, which is coming up just now. They actually managed to pull a bit of a gap with Verne and made an early stop because he's not behind us anymore. Now coming in for a 1 pit stop onto the set of the prime tyres, take us to the end of the race. Hopefully with a lot of the top teams doing 2 stops once again, hopefully we'll be in for a good result. Now, going very synchronised there with Hulkenberg coming into his pit box. Now we should come out in some relatively clean air hopefully. And again, all the top teams should be coming past round about now, along with the other cars that are yet to stop. Looks like one of the Man is going past, but one of the Ferraris. And also the second Ferrari there going past with one of the Mercedes. We've come out not in clean air, but at least some cars that are around, well, faster than us, so we should be, so we shouldn't be able to really catch them. So we actually have some clean air. It's actually Bottas in front of us now with Verne come out behind us. Now coming on to end of lap 9, actually start of lap 9. Now we've got Buemi gaining in the slipstream and DRS pulling to the inside. Now she's going to force Buemi over to the inside, much like we did with Hamilton back in Malaysia. We know this time to dive back around the outside. We completely outbrake Buemi, move right around the outside of him, and now we've got John-Eric Verne in the Red Bull, trying to move past Sebastian Buemi, and it makes it stick, so Buemi moves up. Buemi just loses 2 positions whilst trying to gain 1. Now we've got to worry about the Red Bull behind, even though DRS and slipstream is very effective here at Bahrain, so despite the Renault power units in the back of that Red Bull, it's going to be hard to keep behind. Now coming on to the end of that lap, we've got John Verne now with DRS behind us. Now we've got Buemi looking to make it 3 wide behind. When we go 3 wide, we've tapped into the wall, and we've spun, we've lost our front wing, and we've taken Buemi with us. And now Buemi hits us once again. We just about managed to get back on the track.
You alright? If the car's still drivable, bring it back into the pits for some repairs, please.
Yeah, I'm fine. Don't know about the car though. How's Bohemi?
Remi's fine, he's continuing as well.
So now there's any chance, honestly the points finished now completely gone out the window. But at least the good news is me and Bohemi are okay and able to continue in the race, even though there's not really much point because no one score points anymore. I think the shoe is definitely going to want to have a word with Vern after this race. I mean, how do you have a crash in a straight line with the car in front of you? I mean, honestly, it doesn't make any sense to me. So we're back into the pits for repairs, get a new front wing, new set of soft tyres. I think the aim of the Grand Prix now is just to try and set a fastest lap. Now going to lap 13, with Breeze past the Manor of Stevens, which is probably the easiest overtake I'll ever make in this season. Honestly, it's not an overtake I want to be making in this season. Now cutting on into the Grand Prix, can be Lewis Hamilton taking the win and making it 3 wins out of 4 races for Ferrari. And for us though, it's going to be P16.
The Stewards are reviewing the incident now. I'll keep you updated.
Taking a look now at the race results, and Lewis Hamilton will take Ferrari's 3rd win of the season, just over a second clear of Valtteri Bottas, who finished in 2nd, and Jenson Button drops down to 3rd. Sebastian Vettel recovers to 4th after his very angry team radios, with Daniel Ricciardo gaining 8 positions to finish in 5th, with Hulkenberg another strong finish for Force India in 6th, with Nico Rosberg all the way down in 7th. We don't know what happened to him there. Kvyat gets back to scoring points to finish in 8th. Vern finishes in 9th and must have had a problem after the contact with me and Bohemi to drop 5 positions. Adrian Sutil takes the top 10 for Sauber, with Mark Ericsson in 11th, and Verstappen rounds off the point scorers in 12th. And once again, the first time this season, both the McLarens miss out on points, but only just in 13th and 14th. The 2 Lotuses of me and Grosjean 15th, 16th, and then the 2 Manors of Rossi and Stevens 17th and 18th. Bohemi finishes down in 19th and Perez DNF the race. How does this affect the Drivers' Championship? Well, Hamilton retakes the lead of the championship now, with a 6-point lead back to his teammate Sebastian Vettel. But Vettel's now only 1 point clear of Valtteri Bottas, who now moves 10 points clear of his teammate Nico Rosberg. Bohemi moves up to 5th on 32 points, well, remains on 32 points. And Button now moves up to 6th on 30 points, with Vern in 7th on 24, only 1 point clear now Daniel Ricciardo on 23. Here are the top 4 teams all in a row of how they perform this season, well, really how they're performing. We're down to 9th on 19 points, with Kvyat now only 2 points behind us. Alonso in 11th on 13 points, and Adrian Sutil rounds off the top 12 for Sauber on 11 points. Now taking a look at the constructors' standings, the Ferrari now have a pretty convincing lead of 18 points in the constructors over Mercedes in 2nd, who now move 14 points clear of Williams, who are in 3rd. Red Bull are in 4th on 47 points, again now actually 22 points clear of Toro Rosso. Lotus are in 6th on 19 points, McLaren in 7th also on 19 points, and Sauber in 8th on 18 points, with Force India down in 9th on 12 points, and Manor still yet to score. So if you enjoyed this race, thanks for watching. Remember to leave a like down below if you did enjoy this race. Subscribe if you're new. I'll see you all next time.